Hi, everyone. I wanted to talk a little bit today about why I don't get signs from my own loved ones. I hear this all the time. I wanted to reassure you that you are getting signs from your loved ones. My name is Amy Utsman, and I've had the honor and privilege of being a professional medium and psychic now for 14 years and working with people at a global level, frankly. And yet I run into people almost on a daily basis, in a reading that say to me, I don't get any signs. I don't feel anything. I don't hear anything. I don't get any dreams. And that's going to be heartbreaking for you, of course, because you watch videos, you read things, and maybe you hear stories from other people talking about all the signs that they may get. Well, let me tell you this, a couple of things. First and foremost, shortly after somebody transition, they can give signs at any time. However, part of the problem comes with us, that we put ourselves in a very protective state. And I'm not blaming you. It's just a normal thing that we may do, especially in a transition that is one that brings shock or trauma or is completely unexpected in any manner. Doesn't matter which way the person transitions, but we put ourselves in the forms of what one of my friends has said, in a cocoon. And we put ourselves in this protective mode, not only because we're in shock, but we're in deep pain, of course. And in that place, if we don't kind of create a sense of protectiveness around ourselves, well, then we're leaving ourselves more vulnerable to getting another hurt, even if it's something small, or being overwhelmed by, I just can't handle anything else. How many of you have had the feeling or been in that situation that you just say, if one more thing happens, I'm just not going to make it? How many of you experienced that? Or I just can't take one more thing. We may be stressed to the max, and it could be something as small as a flat tire that just takes us to a breaking point, right? So it's absolutely 100% normal to put yourself in this protective state. And when you do, you may not feel your loved one around. Maybe you're not sleeping well, and therefore you may not be getting vivid dreams. Perhaps you're expecting them to give you certain signs or signs in a certain way, only for them to be giving you different signs. So I want to be very, very clear. I'm not putting this on you. I'm wanting you to understand on why this may occur. Remember, your loved ones are always going to communicate with you in the same way they communicated here. So if they're an analytical thinker and you're more of a visual or empathetic type person, you might have that crisscross and miscommunication, right? You can easily see how that may occur. If somebody's an analytical type thinker, they may put words on your screen or draw you to a certain book. You might hear some of their phrases in your mind just drop in out of nowhere. Perhaps you might see their name or nickname kind of show up in the funniest places, like license plates or billboards even, So they may give you signs like that. If you're more higher on the empathy scale, you feel you're more of a feeling type individual, then you might get goosebumps or just feel their presence. There's other signs that come through where it's a sense of smell that reminds you of them. Well, we all smell differently. You line us up 10 people, put the same cologne or perfume on that individual, and we're all going to smell differently. But you might get that smell that reminds you of them. Well, that's them, you know, that's them saying, hey, I'm around. You know, maybe you don't get coins, maybe you don't get dimes, you know, that's okay. But what about a deer or a bird that just has some behavior that feels peculiar, like they're looking right at you or through you, or stay and look at you in a way that's unusual? That's a sign. And then when you get these events and you're not sure who it's from, just to ask in your mind, who gave me that sign, please? And the very first person that comes to mind is the person that gave you that sign. So it's not that they're not giving you signs. It's most often that either we have ourselves in that protective state or we're just missing them. It's so common, you all. It is so common. Don't think that every now and then I don't need a hard hit across the head because I've missed a sign as well. Okay. So I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry I missed that sign, because they're working hard to let you know that their existence continues and they're doing well in the spirit world. So I hope this video helps you a little bit, and I hope it brings just a little bit of peace to you. In the meantime, do pay attention, you know, do look out for signs. And if you're not sure, you can say, is that me wanting a sign? Yes or no, and go with the first answer. Or was that really a sign? Yes or no, and go with the first answer. All right, that will help clarify things for you rather quickly, but please don't ever forget to thank them for giving you a sign. All right, I wish you all the best in the meantime, and enjoy your comments as always. Take good care.